I'm a surrealist. Surrealism it's creating something that isn't quite in sync with our real physical world. Some people can't take my work. I mean, they see it and they think it's wrong. They don't get it, but they also think it's wrong. But for whatever reason, this work that I do makes people happy. My partner, Scott, sculpts the forms that I embellish, and he has a studio in the basement, and I have a studio in the attic of our home, and it works really well. When I first started trying to sell my work full-time, it was through art fairs. I took about $20,000 that I had inherited, and I used that to live off of, and I built up my inventory. I would bring my art in a booth, and I would set up somewhere in a weekend event and sell my work. And I had sold a lot of work. For about 20 years, I traveled all over the country in a minivan. So I used Rockford as a home base, but I traveled all over the country. Ever since the recession, my sales at art fairs have not bounced back. And so I knew I was going to have to do something else. Opening up a gallery in New Orleans was not something that was planned. It's something that just kind of crossed my path, and we jumped at it. And in it, I had to, I liquidated retirement money to do it. It wasn't this easy thing for us. It sure as heck wasn't lined up as far as my planning went or financially. It was lined up on another level. A collector of mine, Ruth Slatovich, approached me about showing a friend of hers work at Gallery 2. His name is Damon Melanson, and he's a Mardi Gras Indian. We got to see him on Mardi Gras. He's the big chief of the young Seminole hunters. He wore a bright yellow suit. You're going to see the feathers, but under all these feathers, there's this incredible beadwork. All of the pictorial elements on the suit were beaded. The Mardi Gras Indian tradition is perhaps the oldest continual African-American folk art tradition in our country. We showed Damon's work at Gallery 2, and not only did we have a few patches from some of his suits, but we also had his contemporary beadwork. Not only is he this cultural ambassador of this, incredible tradition that's been going on for hundreds of years, he's also a phenomenal bead artist.
In my life now, I feel like I'm an artist. I know this, so that made me confident, trying to, change it from just masking Indian to being able to be an artist within the culture too. It's just major, man. I'm on the website, you got me shaking. It's like that, man. And I'm just excited and overwhelmed, and yeah. It's my girl, Miss Betsy Youngquist. For real, and unexplainable being in G2.
I have family connections to New Orleans. I've shown in New Orleans for a number of years in different venues. New Orleans chose me. I didn't choose New Orleans. I mean, that's how I feel. We made money our first year, which is incredible. The art that Scott and I create fits with the other art that's on the street. And we have friends up and down that street who I've shown with for years. I mean, some of them for a couple decades. And their art is in my home. It's not these two separate situations where New Orleans is this magical city and then Rockford is this place up north. Rockford has magic to me too. So it isn't that separate. I don't see it as being separate. I see it as this continuum, this flow. I need to be here. I just feel at home and comfortable. And that's a position that I need in order to get to that safe space where I'm going to create in the best way that I can create.